In a world where every river, mountain, and valley was meticulously charted, where maps were sacred texts of a world already known, lived a young woman named Ilara. She wasn't just a cartographer. She was a dreamer, an artist who saw not just lines and symbols, but stories yet to be told. While others found comfort in the familiar, Ilara felt a persistent pull from the blank edges of their parchments, a whisper from the great unknown that lay just beyond the borders of their knowledge. Her fingers, stained with the ink of 100 known lands, itched to draw what had never been seen. She would often stand at the highest point of her town, looking out at the distant hazy horizons, and wonder what marvels lay hidden, waiting for someone brave enough to step off the edge of the map. One rainy afternoon, tucked away in the dusty attic of the Cartographers Guild, Ilara stumbled upon a chest she had never seen before. It wasn't grand or ornate, but simple, bound with weathered leather. Inside, nestled amongst forgotten tools and brittle scrolls, was a map unlike any other. It was mostly blank, its parchment shimmering with a faint, silvery light. In the center was a single intricate compass rose, its needle spinning wildly as if alive. There were no names, no coastlines, just a single, cryptic phrase etched at the bottom. The path is made by walking. A thrill, a mix of fear and exhilarating curiosity shot through her. This wasn't just a map. It was an invitation. With the strange map clutched in her hand and a pack on her back, Ilara did what no one in her town had done for generations. She walked past the final marked milestone, beyond the last charted outpost, and into the whispering woods that bordered the known world. At first, the land was just as the old maps described. But then she reached a river that wasn't on any chart. It was wide and fast, and for a moment, doubt crept in. Taking a deep breath, she built a crude raft and pushed off into the current. As she reached the other side, exhausted but triumphant, she felt a warmth spreading from her pack. She pulled out the map. To her astonishment, a new, shimmering blue line had appeared, perfectly tracing the river she had just crossed. This became her new reality. Every challenge she faced, every obstacle she overcame, was magically etched onto the map. When she climbed a treacherous, unnamed peak to get her bearings, a detailed mountain range materialized on the parchment. When she navigated a dense, disorienting jungle by following the sun, a network of winding green paths bloomed into existence. The map wasn't just a guide. It was a living record of her courage. It didn't show her where to go. It showed her where she had been, rewarding her bravery with knowledge. The world wasn't fixed. It was fluid, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be drawn. Her journey was no longer about filling in blanks. It was about creating the world with every step she took. Weeks turned into months. Ilara traveled further than anyone had ever dreamed. She saw waterfalls that cascaded into the clouds, met creatures of light and shadow, and slept under constellations no one from her home had ever seen. The once blank map was now a vibrant tapestry of her adventures, a masterpiece of shimmering ink and untold stories. It was more beautiful and detailed than any map in the guild's collection. Finally, she arrived at what felt like the very edge of the world. Before her was a vast, bottomless chasm, filled with a swirling, impenetrable fog. There was no bridge, no path around it. This was it, the true blank space. The end of everything. The compass on her map, which had spun wildly since she found it, suddenly stopped. Its needle pointed directly into the heart of the misty abyss. Her heart pounded in her chest. All her instincts screamed at her to turn back, to return to the safety of the known. But then she looked at her map, at the record of every fear she had conquered, every river she had crossed, every mountain she had climbed. The phrase echoed in her mind. The path is made by walking. This wasn't an end, it was a threshold. It was the ultimate test of her faith in the unknown. With a determined cry that was swallowed by the silence, Ilara closed her eyes and took a leap of faith, stepping off the cliff and into the white nothingness. She didn't fall. For a breathtaking moment, she floated, suspended in the cool, damp air. Then, as if responding to her act of ultimate trust, the fog around her began to part. It didn't just dissipate. It peeled back like a grand curtain, revealing a world beyond her wildest imagination. Below her, a city of crystal spires glowed with an eternal light. Strange, beautiful flora pulsed with soft colors, and gentle winged creatures soared through the air. The sky was a shade of deep violet she had never seen before. A gentle force lowered her to the ground, and as her feet touched the soft, mossy earth, the map in her hands blazed with a brilliant, golden light. It transformed completely. It was no longer a flat piece of parchment, but a three-dimensional, glowing orb that depicted not just one world, but countless possible worlds, shifting and changing with every thought. When Elara finally returned home, she was no longer the quiet girl who dreamed of the unknown. She was Elara the explorer, a living legend. She didn't come back with a static finished map. Instead, she brought her story and the magical ever-changing sphere. She showed her people that maps weren't meant to be boundaries, but invitations. They were not a record of a finished world, but a testament to the endless possibilities that lie within courage. She inspired a new generation of cartographers, not of land, but of potential. They learned from her that the most beautiful territories are not the ones we find, but the ones we create. And her story, like her map, was never finished, always expanding. A reminder that the greatest adventures begin the moment we dare to step into the blank spaces of our own lives. Thank you so much for watching this story unfold. If you enjoyed Elara's journey, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tales of adventure and discovery. We love sharing these worlds with you. Until next time, keep exploring.